So, Candace Parker talking about the Caitlin Clark Players All-Star snub. And I'm just putting it out there. I think that this would have been brought up beforehand. I would be shocked if the Indiana Fever players didn't vote. Because if they didn't vote, then this could be very easily brushed off in like, well, everyone kind of voted for their teammates and none of you voted for Caitlin Clark. Because you're allowed. Coaches can't vote for their players. They can vote for their teammates. They can absolutely vote for their teammates. From what we read in, I don't know if it was ESPN or The Athletic, it was one of those two. I think it was ESPN. But let's take a listen to Candace Parker.
I don't know. I think people need to look at themselves in the mirror and realize, like, man,
Yikes.
you got some insecurities if you sitting down and putting Caitlin Clark as the 11th best guard. Like,
she's not wrong. She's not wrong. Where it's like, if Kate, like, you can underrate Caitlin in a way where it's like, this is not hilariously bad. And it's the same with Kelsey Plum. It's the same with Jackie Young being ranked at 14. But like, you could, if Caitlin came out as 7th, or let's just say 5th, for argument's sake, 5th. Because for me, there's no argument. There's no, like, you can make an argument. I don't agree with it. That Olivia Miles, based on this season's won. Cool. You can make an argument for Paige Bueckers. I don't think you can make an argument for Ryan Howard, but Ryan Howard is now Ryan Howard was underrated for so long that she's become supremely overrated, if you get me. Like I remember in 2024 when I predicted my USA 2028 Olympics team, I had Ryan Howard in the team. People were like, oh no, she's not going to make it. And then people were like asking me what my pro comparison to Juju Watkins is. I said that she's a better slashing Ryan Howard. And everyone was like, being like, oh, we've never seen anything like Juju. I'm like, no, we absolutely have seen something like Juju. They're like, oh, she's one of a kind. I'm like, no, we've absolutely seen something like Juju. Her name is Ryan Howard. Like, Juju is probably going to be better, but like, we've absolutely seen something like Juju before. But she was so underrated for so long that she's now become overrated. People say she's a top 5 player in the league. She's not. She's still as inconsistent as ever. She's still as good a defense as ever. And her team is worse than last year, where she barely made the All-Star team. But at the same time, look, Ryan, there's no real argument for Ryan. But again, I do think there are people that are going to... there are people that are going to have Ryan above Caitlin. I don't hate it. I don't agree with it, but I don't hate it. It's not fucking sacrilegious borderline. And that's it. If you have Caitlin lower than 4, you're in some absolute hater territory. You're in some absolute hater territory there. If you had her anywhere below 4. And like even below Kelsey Mitchell. Like Caitlin and Kelsey are at the time the voting ended were both, I think they were identical on points. I think there might maybe 0.1 point difference. And there's literally nothing other than scoring the basketball more efficiently that Kelsey Mitchell does better than Caitlin Clark on the floor. Like there's not. And if you want to say defense, watch what the Mercury did to Kelsey Mitchell. They didn't target Caitlin, they targeted Kelsey Mitchell. And they put up 111 points. The most points Fever conceded this year. But he's not wrong. But anyway, I'll see you guys.
y'all need to go to a therapist and figure out what childhood issues you have. Because if you're sitting there and looking at yourself in the mirror and putting her as 11th best guard, and you're putting you as 8th best, like, come on. And Kelsey Plum is the 12th. Now, maybe games, because she's been hurt. This is crazy. Okay, I don't know. I think people need to look at themselves in the mirror and realize, like...
She's not wrong. Like, Kelsey Plum at 12, and there's, like, games played. At the time, like... It seemed crazy, because, again, she hadn't missed that many games. But, like, the Jackie Young one is still hilarious as well. The Jackie Young one is still absolutely hilarious. Like, it genuinely is. Like, it could not have been more funny for me, the whole Jackie Young being the 14th best guard. And yeah, like, the players absolutely voted for their friends. And let's be honest, Caitlin Clark doesn't really have that many friends. Like, you had, I can't remember who it was. It was Chennai basically being like, oh, you know, it's a sisterhood. We all stick together. And it's like, no, the Fever don't. The Fever don't belong to that. And Kelsey Mitchell by the way, the highest Kelsey Mitchell has ever been voted by the players was when the Indiana Fever were nearly last place. Like, the players don't like the players in the Fever. If you join the Fever knowing you're not going to be liked by the players, and people are like, oh, social media fans are the reason people don't join the Fever. No. If you join the Indiana Fever, you give up your pass. Like, you basically give up your ability to be, you know, accepted, or for lack of a better word, like, you give up your admission slip to the club. And like, it is what it is. I don't like the fact that it is like that. I think the fact that it's like that is crazy. That being said, like, that is a fact. Like, it's nothing to do with social media. If you join the Indiana Fever, you give up your you're shunned from the club. A club you've been part of for whatever length of your career, and you basically have to become a Fever. And if you don't want to fully buy, and it's the reason why the Fever's locker room is so high, is so good, is that if you don't fully buy into being a member of the Fever, you have to buy in enough to being a member of the Fever that you basically are like, it's like, you know, the old passport situation. If you have a US passport, if you want a passport anywhere else, you got to give up that US passport. But it's like, you know what? If you want to join the Indiana Fever, you better give up your pass to being, you know, beloved in the WNBA or be part of that club, because unfortunately, if you're a member of the Fever, unless of course you are in direct competition, even if you are in direct competition with Caitlin Clark and make it seem like you hate Caitlin Clark, it's over. It's over. But anyway, yeah, let's take a look at some of these probably unhinged things. Candace burst out in laughter, you know, it's ridiculous. Yeah. Candace and Leah are the best foot soldiers of all time for Caitlin. I want to see him go at Candace. I want to see him go. They already hate Candace Parker. Like, Angel Reese refused to celebrate Candace Parker's jersey retirement. And do you want to know what? Do you know what Angel Reese fans say to Candace Parker goes out of her way to hate Angel Reese? Do you know what Candace Parker? You know what egregious thing Candace Parker did? Said that Angel Reese is not, like, she could potentially be an MVP, but right now I have her a tier. I think it was a tier below. I don't even think it was a tier below Breanna. Was it a tier below Paige? Paige was one tier ahead of her. Basically, she's one tier below Paige. And Cam Brink was on the list, and she didn't want to put anyone in D tier. So she just put Cam Brink with Angel. Like, other than Arike, she overrated Arike, basically. Like, if you took Arike and Cam Brink off that list and replaced them with Citron and Kiki, she probably put Citron and Kiki in the same tier as Angel Reese. And in my opinion, Citron's one tier higher than Angel Reese. Citron is one tier higher. That being said, like, Angel Reese has been retweeting hate about Candace Parker. They've already hate Candace Parker. She doesn't give a shit. Candace Parker doesn't give a shit. Like, everyone's like, oh yeah, you know, Candace Parker was beloved by the players. No, she wasn't. They voted her the most overrated player in the league. She won MVP, and Gino Auriemma said, nah, I don't want to bring her to the Olympics. She then goes and wins Depoy in 2020, and then they said in the 2021 Olympics, nah, we don't want to bring you to the Olympics, and she goes and wins a ring. She got snubbed twice for the Olympics, and both years won a ring. Both years won a ring. Like, Candace Parker went to Tennessee. She did not play for Gino. In fact, she played for, oh my God, I just blanked on the name. Pat Summitt. That's her name. I got the famous tennis. I was like, famous Tennessee basketball coach. No, she played for Pat Summitt. Like, they hated UConn. Gino hated her. She got fucked by Gino. She got fucked. The UConn Mafia hated her because she went to Tennessee and won championships at Tennessee. And it is hilarious. It is genuinely hilarious now, where you've got Candace Parker, and that's the thing where it's like people are like, oh, Candace Parker come to defense of Caitlin, because to a lesser extent she was Caitlin. She was the player that they went after during the WNBA's equivalent of Malice in the Palace. Was it the Detroit Shock LA Sparks brawl? They went after Candace Parker. To a much lesser extent, she was Caitlin Clark when they came in. They went for her. She didn't have the backing of UConn. She was the young hotshot player. And yeah, that's pretty much it, lads. I'll see you guys.